I wish these people, these women that always complain about I can't find a man. You see these TikTok videos out there with these women crying, and they're saying I can't find a man. I was at the gym and I was looking at this guy and I was bumping my boob or I was bumping my shoulder into him and he wouldn't show any attention to me. And see, you guys got to come up to us and just ask us. And really, that's bad advice, guys. See, here's the thing here. These women that are crying in these TikTok videos, most of it's true tears. I don't think there's any doubt that these are real tears that you see coming out of their eyes, because it's hard to fake tears. It really is. It's but the way there's a difference. I'll, which I don't want to get into right now. But anyways, so there's all these other women out there running their YouTube channels saying, "See, you women don't listen to these guys." They're giving really false. Both sides are full of crap. The women who pretend to be apologists for the men, they're clearly attention whores. And the women that are writing these videos, they're just crying the blues because they can't get the 1% of the guys out there. So either way, both sides are deceiving you. And, you cannot artificially create something out of nothing. No, you can't make sand more valuable than gold. You can't make paper more valuable than platinum. Okay? It's you have to look at the reality that things are the way they are because, for obvious reasons, the demographics, and I've talked about this in enough videos that I don't want to get into, but when women complain, they're giving bad advice if they say just go up to the girl and ask her out. I can't tell you how bad that will go down if you do that. And maybe you'll get away with it once or twice, but you can't go to a venue like a gym, for example. I mean, how many gyms can you attend where you go up to a woman and you ask her out, and she's, first of all, it's uninvited attention, which means that she's not even looking at you, and yet you still want to say, well, I was working out by her, so she must not bother her. But I know for a fact that in reality, it's almost guaranteed to fail. I was even thinking about doing this as an experiment. There was one or two women, they're fuglies, but I've worked out around them when it's crowded, and just for shits and giggles, I thought about, why not just say, hey, how you doing? And see what they say. Now, if they're really interested, they'll obviously respond positively, but I don't even take that back. I'm not going to even do that. I'm not going to ever do that because it's a waste of time. But the point is that it's bad advice to tell somebody that they should go up and approach women anyways when it's almost guaranteed to fail. It's almost guaranteed to fail. Let me turn this stupid fan off here. It's almost guaranteed to fail. And people say, all you need is a 1% success rate. Okay, so a 1% success rate would mean if you strike out 100 times, 1% of 100 strikeouts is still 0. So if you strike out 100 out of 100, and they say you only need a 1% success rate, you need to approach, it doesn't matter, the percentage is still 0%. You're batting 0. You're grounding out, you're striking out. Maybe you're walking if you're lucky. But that's how it is, man. And I don't think people understand how bad this is, because a lot of these women there's a lot of guys coming of age that maybe they're reaching their 20th birthday, maybe they're in college, and they're listening to these videos from these female YouTubers, and they're taking this bad advice that you just need to approach these women. You just need to go out and ask them out. And, hey, oh, she looked at me the right way. Oh, and nothing. Listen, if a woman likes you, she moves her boobs and her body into your zone. She touches you. She talks to you. She'll constantly look in your direction, constantly. She'll get on the piece of equipment that's next to yours if they don't need to be. And so my whole thing with this is this. Oh, man, I'm scared they fixed this yet. Oh, it looks like they did not fix it yet. It still's all chewed up. So, anyways, let me get into the next lane so I can get to the highway. I hate to be doing this while I'm driving, but you gotta do what you gotta do. There's a Wendy's right by me, but I don't have time to stop there. So, all I'm gonna say is simply this. Don't listen to stupid advice like this. These people that give this advice don't know what they're talking about. They're giving you bad advice. They're telling you to do something that's almost guaranteed to fail. They're telling you to go out there and ask a girl out when she clearly doesn't want you asking her out. And it's about time that you just say, no, I won't do that. And don't listen to these women. Do not listen to these women that tell you this crap. They're setting you up for failure. And then don't listen to these women who pretend to be making fun of other women who are complaining about men. They are charlatans too. There's a one woman. It's not, her name isn't Pearl. It's some other woman who's got these. It's like those 1 minute snippets, those pop-ups, and she's like making fun of all these girls that complain on TikTok, and then she pretends like she's an apologist for the men. You know, it's just so stupid. Like, these women are just as evil as the women that are claiming to be victims of guys not talking to them. You know, don't fall for these charlatans, these evil people. And they are evil. I mean, anybody that sets you up to potentially get arrested and thrown in jail, you know, just stay away from these people. And, you know, the game is rigged, man. The game is rigged. You're not going to meet any women. There isn't any... most women don't find most guys attractive. And it's an illusion when you go out in public and you see a guy and a girl, a guy and a girl, a guy and a girl, 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 go to Cedar Point, guy and a girl, go to the movies, guy and a girl, guy and a girl. Oh, that proves that every guy is hooked up. No, just proves that the only people that go out in public are guy and a girl. You know, you don't see amputees in public. You don't see wheelchair-bound people in public. So what are we going to assume, that they don't exist? No, they don't come out in public. Blind people. There's probably 6 million of them in America. Maybe 3 million legally blind people, maybe more. They just don't come out in public. So my whole thing is do not get deceived. Do not allow yourself to be deceived by this chicanery and nonsense. Oh, but there's a guy and a girl, 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 guy and a girl. I went to the movie theater, guy and a girl, guy and a girl, guy and a girl, a woman and their kids, guy and a girl. It's all deceptive. See, a lot of these people on this highway right now could just be male shit kickers. We don't know how many male shit kickers there are out there. We just don't know. I was thinking about Hell by the Dashboard Light, and he's, you know, always doing his, he's really obsessed with the shit kicker philosophy of his. And he seems to think that the shit kickers make up a huge percentage of these guys that are living TFL, True Force Loneliness. He thinks it's very high. And I'm not disagreeing with him. I just don't see a lot of shit kickers because it's really hard to qualify or quantify where these people are other than tucked away in their apartments somewhere. Man, there's a big van right there. It's a big Mercedes van. It's a nice work van. By the way, those Mercedes vans are pieces of crap. They're real flimsy. They're not as strong as I think we make better vans than they do. Anyways, so you can see what I'm talking about. Like, you got all these people driving, and there's a good chance that a good portion of these people could be just TFL guys. Not everybody's hooked up. If it's a guy, there's a 50% chance that he don't have any women. And everybody seems to think this, like everybody finds somebody. Everybody finds somebody. Yeah, women do. Every woman can find somebody. There's a YouTuber I've been following. I'm not going to mention his name yet. I'll just say his friggin' name. His name is Raymond. Raymond Thoughts and Ideas. That's his name. I think his name of his channel. Raymond Thoughts. Just look the name up. Raymond Thoughts. THOUGHTS. And Raymond Thoughts is a very honest guy. He is lamenting the problem. He lives in Ohio too. He is lamenting the same sentiments that I lamented 15 years ago. See, it's interesting that he's 36 going on 37 as we talk. And I remember when I was making those TFL videos, I was 37 when I first started making for my 3-month run on the TFL videos. And it's kind of funny that he looks older than his age, but he's lamenting what I lamented 15 years ago, or 17 years ago. You know what this tells me? Nothing's changed. See, everyone is talking about blaming this all on social media. They're blaming all this on social media. I've talked about this before. This nothing could be further. Damn, look at all these cars backed up here. Fuck. Pardon my language. This is really a backed up motherfucker. I'm gonna get in a bad accident here if I'm not careful. Always make sure you're not behind and in front of a semi-tractor trailer. You don't want to be crushed like an accordion. That'd be the worst accident you could ever imagine. So anyways, Raymond Thoughts and Ideas, whatever his name, his channel is, he's a pretty sharp guy. He's 36, going to go 37, and maybe he's 37 now as you watch this video, maybe older, but he laments the truth about what I did 15, 17 years ago. Basically, no woman likes you. What's wrong with me? Why am I seen as so ugly? And it's just how it is, man.